Hi, I'm Charlene and I'm the person who makes these videos. And today I'm here to answer some of your questions to celebrate 500,000 subscribers, which is a milestone I hit over 3 months ago, but I'm only recording this now. I'm sorry. Let's get started. What are some of your tips for beginner and mediocre artists, especially younger artists like teen level? So, my answer will depend on what do you want. This is the first question you need to ask yourself. Do you want to get good? Do you want to be a professional and work in the industry? Do you want to be a hobbyist and just draw for fun? What do you want from your art? Because everything will depend on that in the end of the day. Because if you just wish to have fun and you don't care about improving or, being good on a technical level, then it really doesn't matter and you should just draw whatever you want and what makes you happy. Whatever, if you do care about improving technically and, becoming good and maybe work with your art, then there are a couple of things you should really consider. Those being, there it comes, the answer nobody wants to hear. You need to study the fundamentals. This is a very non-original answer. This is what every artist will tell you, and there's a reason for that, unfortunately. If you want to improve, drawing the same thing over and over and over again will not get you that far. I would know because that's what I've done most of my life. I would just draw people from the same angle, the same characters over and over again. And that didn't get me so far. I only started seeing a difference in my art when I actually started studying and seeing how other artists do their work and stuff like that. So where do I recommend you start if that's the path you want to go through is Deynolasco. It's a website with many lessons and many exercises on the fundamentals that really helped me, especially on perspective, and it's for free. So just search Draw a Box and they have instructions there, and that's a great way to start if that's what you want. But just like the studying part, it's very important for you to keep the fun part as well, because if you remove every enjoyable part of the art process, then you're going to start hating it. So try to find a balance between studying the fundamentals and trying to improve and actually drawing what you want to draw and having fun with it, so that you don't start hating drawing, because that's the worst thing you can do for yourself. Because if you do, it's very easy to quit. And you don't want to quit, let's not quit. So yeah, try to have fun with it and study simultaneously, or not simultaneously, but in balance. That's what I'm trying to say. What originally inspired you to create content? Love your videos. Thank you. So many things happened to bring me here today. First things first, I kind of always wanted to have a YouTube channel. I kind of always assumed that at some point of my life I would have one. And I'm very glad that I was right. Here I am today, thanks to you. So that's number one. Number two, I really wanted to work in the art industry, like maybe doing concept art, character design, all of that. A couple of years ago, I was really excited about that. I started looking for jobs. I started taking art very seriously. I'd study hours a day to actually try to reach a industry quality level, But then AI happened, like in 2022. That's the time that I was studying for that, and that sucked, and I gave up. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life anymore, because everything else I know how to do will also be replaced by AI. So what do I want to do? I don't know. I didn't know at the time. And also around that time, I was going to graduate college. So I was lost on what I wanted to do, but I needed to do something because...
Hi, Editing Cheryl here. In this part of the video, I start talking about how I was going to stop being a student and I was just going to be unemployed and how I didn't want that. But rewatching this, not only did I find it a little insensitive, but also quite embarrassing. Because who am I to say anything? I'm literally a YouTuber right now, which is the most unserious job you can have. So yeah, I'm here to acknowledge how ridiculous that is, and let's cut out that part.
And another part that I forgot to mention is that there are a lot of things I want to do. Not only the kind of content I make nowadays, but a lot of other kinds of videos, a lot of other kinds of projects that are going to become easier if I have a platform. So yeah, that's why I made this channel. And in the same vein, what made you want to start your character design idea series and other series? So I started off actually making other kinds of content. I would I made long videos about many things, about drawing, about writing, but at some point I decided to also invest in short form content. And that's when I started doing a lot of different things, trying to see what worked. And it finally did work when I thought to myself, what's the kind of content I want to watch, not the kind of content I want to make. And that's when I made the first series like this, that's the character quirks and habits. That's kind of what started like this era of my channel. I started making those and people really liked them, so I started making more and started making other things within that format. And yeah, that's what happened, and that's where we are today. This was, I think, in the end of 2023, so it's been a while. So yeah, short answer, I started making those because I wanted someone else to be making those, but nobody was. I'm glad I'm not the only one who enjoyed them. Now let's answer the question that was asked by far the most, and that is, how do you come up with all these ideas? And to that I answer, it depends. Some of those actually don't require any creativity on my part at all, because they're pure research. For example, the one about power and special abilities, I just take powers from the Superpower Wiki, which is a great resource, and I recommend you to check on them in case you're interested in this kind of stuff. And stuff like names and fears are just stuff that I Google, and then I draw something for them. So yeah, those I wouldn't say I came up with the ideas, I just research them. Now there are some that are a mix between creativity and research. For example, the character design one, I come up with some, and other ones I just look through Pinterest and see cool stuff and kinds of clothing I didn't know the name of and stuff like that. Or I just look at a cool character and see what makes them cool and then write those down. And for this series specifically, I try not to be too specific, because there are some things that become like a trademark for the character, and I feel like I would be directly stealing from them if I use them and put them in this kind of video series. So yeah, I try to keep things generic enough for you to use your creativity to make them unique, you know? That's kind of the point for what I'm trying to do here. And then there are other series which there is not much to research, I just make them up, which doesn't require as much creativity as you may be expecting. Like, people are shocked, like, how do you come up with this many ideas? Guys, it's not that hard at all. And I'm here to say that I'm not special, you could do that too if you we're trying to make this kind of content. Mainly, what do? I go through a process which I call extrapolation. I'll think of an initial concept and then try to figure out what I can do with it, like a doctor. What could I do with a doctor that would be fun for the story? You know, and then I start thinking, and what do doctors do? What's something they absolutely shouldn't do? Can I make them do that and make that funny? And stuff like that. And, you know, trying to find contradictions, trying to find fun ways of doing the same old thing, or trying to find new ways. There are many ways. There are many ways you can create this concept, you know. And there's another thing I do, which ties to the next question. Congrats! Thank you. Do you have any personal OCs? And if you do, were some of your character ideas made after them? Yes and yes. People also ask if I use my ideas for my own characters, but it is the other way around. When I'm having my brainstorming session, one of the main resources I turn to are my characters. I would think about them and think, is there anything fun here that I can use for my videos? And yeah, not all and not most of my ideas, but some of them came directly from my own OCs. And talking about that, is there any lore behind your OCs? Yes, I am incapable of making characters that don't belong to any bigger setting or narrative. Like, I see other people making characters that are just the characters, they are just for fun, and there are no requirements, and they are just there because they're there, they're fun, and that's what the creator wants. And I wanted to be able to do that, but I'm not. Everything I make have to be part of a bigger something. So all of my characters have lore because that's a requirement for their existence, unfortunately. But I do like making lore, so let's not complain too much about that. And what's your favorite Animal Crossing character? You're asking me to pick between my children, and that's evil. You shouldn't have done that. But if I have to answer, probably Boris. I didn't expect to like him as much as I did, but when he came to my island, he became my best friend, and a father figure. He took care of me and he took care of everyone in that island, and I owe my life to Boris. Boris, #1 fan, that's me. Also Bob. But I've never had Bob, so that's just based on appearances and incredibly shallow of me. But yeah. What inspired you to pursue art and storytelling? It's not my intention to be pretentious, okay? I'm just going to answer the question truthfully. But I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. About storytelling and making characters specifically, I never chose to do this. There was never a point in my life that I just decided I wanted to do that. I've been doing that ever since I remember myself being a person, like literally. And of course, at age 3, my characters were not complex, there were not much lore to talk about, but they were there, they were existent. And actually, one of my first memories was me as a toddler playing on my own, and my brother coming to me and asking if he could play with me. And I told him no, because I wasn't playing. I was maladaptive daydreaming about my characters. Did I know what that meant at the time? No. What happened to me for me to be maladaptive daydreaming since I was 3? I don't know, but I was. And yeah, I owe most of my stories and most of my inspiration from maladaptive daydreaming. So in a weird way, I'm thankful for it. But if we're going to talk about art specifically, first I wanted to draw the characters that were in my head, and second, my older brother started drawing because he was into anime, so I copied him because that's what younger siblings do. I owe my drawing career to my brother and mental illness. Is it hard posting videos every day, finding ideas, drawing, etc.?
Hi, it's me again, interrupting again because I sound ridiculous again. So, the thing is, I forget that the people who watch my channel don't really know me because, how would you? I don't really put that much about myself out there, but the thing is, I speak in a very dramatic way. And because people don't know me, they'll take it seriously. So I had to cut this part because I speak about how tired I am and that I'm burned out and all of that. Which I am, to be fair, but the thing is, every adult is, because every job is tiring. This is one of the most easy jobs I could ever have. Is that how I say it? Anyway, because I am my own boss, I work from home, I'm in a very, very comfortable position. So don't worry about me, truly. I am tired, but anyone is, and I will take a break eventually. And I'll come back to correct another answer later in this video. I'll be right back.
The problem is, this video started out simple enough, like they took work, but if you go back like a year in my content, you would see the drawings were much simpler. They didn't take that long to finish, but the channel grew and I made more and more videos, and the more time it passed and the more videos were out, the more pressure I felt to post good stuff, Every video had to be better than the last, and then I started cranking up the quality a little to the point that now it is unsustainable and it takes way too long. And yeah, every Friday I'm going to sleep at 4 a.m. or later because I'm finishing the weekend videos, but I'm fine, don't worry. But that's why it took me so long to record this video and why it's taking so long for me to start any other projects. I don't know when I will do that. Like, it is 1 a.m. right now, I'm recording this. And I really don't want to sound like I'm being sorry for myself. I'm not. This is pretty much the ideal job I could ever ask for, and I'm very, very happy that I'm in the position that I am. But it is tiring, absolutely. Is YouTube your full-time job? Also, are you currently in uni or college? It is my full-time job. I guarantee you I wouldn't be posting as frequently if it wasn't. And I wanted to take this time right now to thank everyone. This is a celebration for the 500,000 subscribers. Now it is 550,000. 550. Thank you everyone for making this possible. I literally don't know where I would be if I wasn't here with you guys making these videos, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed them. And I plan on making much more, and I also will do more things to celebrate. I just need to find a little bit more of time. So thank you for your patience. I promise it will come sooner or later. And about uni and college, I have graduated, thank God. I'm graduated in product design, and I have dropped out of architecture school in my 3rd year. So yeah, I'm both graduated and a dropout. I'm so proud of that. And also a very important PSA for you. Just because you like drawing, don't mean you like studying architecture. If you're thinking about that, research first. See if you're up for that. I wasn't. I hate architecture with all my forces because it's not about creativity. I mean, there is the creative part, but mostly it is about technical stuff, and I hate technical stuff. So yeah, don't study architecture unless you want to study architecture specifically. So be sure you know what you're doing. What motivates you to post often? Also, I love your content. Thank you.
Hey, it's me again. I'm pretty sure this is the last time I'm going to interrupt the video. Anyway, I'm going to cut off this entire response because I was very dramatic again, so I'm going to try to re-record it right now in a more objective way. Basically, what I said was that it isn't about motivation, it is just my job and I have to do it regardless of how I'm feeling. And that's true. And the other part that I was very dramatic about was that I was very scared of missing a day of posting, because at the point that I was recording that video, which was like a month ago, this took forever to get around to posting it. I'm sorry. Anyway, the time that I was recording this video, I had never missed a single day of posting since I started taking this seriously, and I was terrified of missing a day because I didn't know how my channel would react, and I genuinely thought sometimes that my channel would just die, so I was scared. But then a week later, after that video, I went to the psychiatrist and he told me to just try and not post and see what happens, and I did it. And guess what? My channel didn't die. In fact, it is still very much alive. I'm sorry, I don't speak English. Anyway, my channel will not die if I don't post for a day. I'm still kind of scared to do it because it does tanks the engagement a bit, but it is fine. And ever since I started doing that and having the mindset that it is okay to miss a day, things have been much easier. And I also brought around some people to help me with the drawings and all of that. And also, important disclaimer, I don't think it's a disclaimer, but anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about is the reason that I decided to come back to this video and re-record all these audios. A lot of people have been worrying in my comment sections, telling me to take a break and being worried about my health and my mental health. And I'm very thankful for all of you for being so kind and being so worried about me. I just wanted to say that you don't have to be. Really, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I really will. I don't remember if I said that in the last audio because I've recorded many audios by now and I don't remember what I said in each. Anyway, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Thank you for being so kind, and thank you for all the amazing messages you guys have sent me. Don't worry, I'll take a break. In the end of the year, I'm already planning to that, and until then I'll be working in some very cool projects I hope you guys will be excited about. Anyway, goodbye. I think this is the last time I'm interrupting. Anyway, bye.
Do you think I'll make more long-form videos again in the future? Yes, at least I hope I will. I have many things I want to do. I have many things planned. Again, I just need to find the time. But I will, and that's one of the major plans for this year. We are already in July. I don't know when this will be posted, but this is half of the year. All of this was planned for like February, March, but I didn't do it. So it's better to be late than never. I don't think I said that correctly, but yeah. This video right here is my excuse to start because it's the first long video I'm posting this year, and I hope it will be the first of many, although I don't know if it will, but I'll try to make it. Okay, next question. I'm interested in becoming an artist on YouTube myself, and I'm wondering what I should make my first video about. Any ideas? Also, I am so happy for reaching 500,000 subscribers. You deserve this so much. You've been a huge inspiration for me and helped me boost my passion to become an artist. I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm not very good at showing gratitude, and I'm sorry for that. I'm just not good at it. I'm sorry. But it makes me so happy, like genuinely, to read this kind of comment and to know that my videos are not just in a void, that I'm making them for a good cause. And I love that people are inspired by them and that I get to be a part of so many artists' journeys. And yes, I'm very happy about that. And your comment warmed my heart. And yeah, so yeah, I'm answering to this comment right now, but I mean all of you that left this kind of message, like, it makes me very happy to read. But now to answer your question. Most content creators will go through a phase where they will try doing anything and everything to see what works. That was the case for me, and that's what I recommend you doing. Make a list of all the things that you want to do and see what's doable from that list, and start with those. Don't worry about making it perfect, just start. And that's advice for pretty much anything. Just start. That's what I did. In the beginning, I started with the long videos and I would record about anything I felt like it, and they didn't work. But I tried, and eventually I landed on this. And we're here now. And I hope this inspires you to do the same. Just start and then you see what works and what doesn't. Watch other artists' content, see if there's anything that you feel like you would have fun doing. Give your own spin on other people's ideas, and yeah, I think it will work. And another thing is that you have to be okay with posting videos for no audience. It's very hard for people to begin with a lot of viewers. Most likely nobody will watch at first. When I began posting shorts, there were some of them that would literally have 7 views in the end of the first day, but I kept making them and now we're here. Keep those things in mind and go for it. Be persistent, adapt, see what works better, and then you keep going. I don't want to be too cheesy and say never give up on your dreams, but it's kind of true. If you give up in the first 3 videos you post, you'll never get anywhere. So keep going. Find different forms of motivation and see what works for you. Are you ever afraid you're going to run out of ideas for clothes, character dynamics, and flaws, all that? Well, no, because the amount of ideas that can exist, I don't know how to say that. The amount of ideas that are out there to be discovered are literally endless. But a better question to be asked would be, am I afraid that I'm ever going to run out of good ideas? And the answer for that is yes. Because the amount of ideas possible are endless, but I feel like at some point they'll start getting boring and repetitive, and I'm trying my hardest not to let that happen, but I feel that in some instances it has already begun. But I'll try different things and I hope for the best. I hope you guys won't get tired of me. Thank you for sticking around. What's your personal favorite series to make that you've created? My favorite one to make would be the relationship ones. I have a lot of fun with them. It's one that doesn't take that much time for me to make, depending on what I decide to draw, because I'm very bad at time management. And I think my favorite one overall would be like the all-in-one characters that I don't really make because they perform badly and they take too long and I cannot afford those two things together. I'm trying to think of a different format for it to be viable, and I would love to bring it back. And maybe someday I will. Not maybe, I will someday. I just don't know when or how, but it will be back eventually. Congratulations on reaching this huge milestone. The big question is, how do you balance being an artist and a content creator? With the algorithm bias towards frequent uploads, how do you manage to maintain a healthy upload schedule while avoiding burnout? Thanks for the amazing content. Thank you for watching. I do not avoid burnout. I'm in fact severely burned out for 6 months now. Of course, it's not horrible every day. I've had my peaks of inspirations here and there, but mostly I am tired and I wanna rest. And don't say in the comments, Cheryl, take a break. I can't. I need to vary the kind of content I make before I can take a break. For now, I won't. And I know you mean well, and I'm thankful that you want me to be healthy. And yeah, love you guys, but I cannot do that right now. Eventually I will, not now. About the balance thing, There is no balance. I literally don't draw for myself anymore. And that's something I want to talk about because it is a consequence for people who want to work with their passions. There's this saying about work with what you love and then you'll never work a day in your life. But I feel like actually it is the other way around. Work with what you love and you'll never love anything anymore. And I'm very much in that stage right now. When I finish working, the last thing I want to do is to keep drawing. So I just throw my iPad out and go do literally anything else. I've talked to other people that work with their art and they feel similarly. Not to say that it is impossible to find a balance. I know that many people has, but I haven't yet. I hope that it is because I'm in the beginning of this journey that eventually I'll figure out how to do it, but for now, yeah, unfortunately, there is no balance, and I miss drawing my characters, I really do. And again, I'd like to clarify, I wouldn't trade this life I have right now for anything. I'm very grateful that I get to work with what I love. I'm just trying to show like the other side of the coin. I love what I do, but I also don't do it for love anymore. But it's okay. I'll find a balance eventually. Everything is going to be fine. Congrats on 50K, thank you. Do any of your friends or family know about your YouTube channel? If yes, what was their first reaction? Everyone in my life knows about this. I told everyone from day one. I had 0 subscribers and I went to 50 subscribers because I told everyone I know to subscribe. And that's a great way to start. I recommend you doing that if you're going to start a channel. Ask for people's help. My parents were a little worried when I told them that I wanted to do this, but they're not worried anymore and they're very proud of me. And I'm thankful for having all my friends and my family. They're extremely supportive. Amo vocês, amo todos vocês. This is a really weird question, but why do you draw your characters with only 4 fingers? Is it just like a preference you have? I always wonder about that when I watch your videos. Short answer, to save time. Long answer, this drawing style I use for my videos is not my actual art style. When I started drawing specifically for my long form videos, I realized that my realistic style would not work because it would take way too long and I didn't have that much time. So I tried to find a simplified style to use for those. One of the things that I decided was to give them 4 fingers. The problem is, slowly the channel's art style started coming closer and closer and closer to my actual art style, which is semi-realistic. And now those characters have not realistic but more accurate body proportions and they still have 4 fingers, and I'm not going to change that because it's easier this way. And yeah, I only draw 5 fingers when I feel like it's going to be too distracting for them not to have 5 fingers. But yeah, it is a choice made out of laziness. Which stories do you love reading and writing the most? Favorite genre? I like to write fantasy, pretty much all, not all, but most of my stories are some kind of fantasy, normally low fantasy, but I don't really read that much fantasy, which is funny. I like to read literary fiction, which is that kind of book that don't really have a plot. Most of the time it's just like characters doing stuff and you follow their life. They normally have these deep themes. So yeah, I like that kind of book the most, but I read pretty much everything. I don't like to stay stuck to one genre. I will read anything if it's good. If it's bad too. There is value in reading bad literature. If you were going to publish one of your books, which would it be and why? So, I don't know if I'll ever publish a story in book format because I suck at writing prose. I'm not good at it at all. I have started writing multiple books, but I never finished because my standards are much higher than my skill in actually writing. But I could get better. I'm young. I have my whole life ahead of me, so who knows, maybe one day. But it brings me to my next question, which is, are you going to release a series like a comic book? Absolutely, yes. This is like my main plan for the future and what I want to do with my life. There are some stories that I really want to share and I'm so excited about them, and I hope you guys will be able to see soon. But before that, I actually have plans for other stuff. Maybe a game, visual novel. We'll see what I have the budget to do. We'll see. But yeah, I want to make a game first because anyway, I have my reasons. I hope you guys will enjoy that. Can you make an animation series? You don't understand. This has always been my life's dream. I'm not an animator, but my dream is to publish a comic book and for a studio to pick it up and make it an animated series. You could have asked me 10 years ago, what's your dream? I would have said the same thing. That's what I want the most in my life. That's my life goal. So if an animation studio wants to collab, even if not to adapt one of my things, but to bring me on into a project as a writer or anything, I would be very glad to participate. So if you have an animation studio, invite me please. I'd love to work with that, please. How long did it take you to get overwhelmingly good at art and settle into an art style? Look, I'm not trying to be self-deprecating and I'm not trying to fish for compliments. I'm just stating facts. I'm not that good at art. Just ask any professional what they think of my art and they'll tell you exactly that. I'm mediocre. And that's okay. I have made peace with that and I'm trying to get better and that's all I can do for now. But there is a positive takeaway from this, that is, you do not have to be the best for people to like your art and your content. So if you're going to take anything from this video, you don't have to be the best, you don't have to be. Your art doesn't need to be perfect, just post it and there are people who are going to like it. Maybe even 500,000 people. Look how far I've come without getting my skills that high up. You can do that too. And as for my art style is a love letter to every artist I have ever admired because my process for that was to copy everyone. That's the thing, you cannot copy one person because then you're just going to be their knockoff. I mean, you can, but if you're going to try to find your own art style, if you copy 100 different people and you absorb a little bit of every one of them, it will be your own art style. And that's what I have done. I will go on Pinterest, I'll find drawings that I like and I'll copy them, many of them. That's how it came to be. Doing that through many years and evolving a little by little. Love your accent. Where are you from? I'm Brazilian. Born and raised Brazilian. Oi, brasileiros. Desculpa não fazer vídeo em português. Eu acho que não teria público e é por isso que eu faço vídeo em inglês. Hi. Anyway. Will you show more finished art pieces in the future? Don't get me wrong, the little drawings of people in your shorts are nice, but I'm curious to see your projects that you're working on. I sure hope I have stuff to show you guys soon, but that's the thing, as I've mentioned earlier, I don't draw for myself anymore, which means I haven't finished like an actual illustration for over a year now, like a year and a half. I have tried to start some illustrations, but they are in limbo now. They're there and I won't finish them, and that sucks. But it will be changed soon. I will get a better schedule and I'll get to finish more illustrations and I'll share them with you. And yeah, everyone will be happy then. We're already happy now. Everything is alright. Yay. What's your biggest insecurity about your art? I'm extremely inconsistent. There are drawings from like 2022 that I would consider to be much better than anything I do nowadays. And there are stuff that I do right now that I feel like it's much worse than things I've done 5 years ago. I don't know how that works, but it does. Progress is not a linear thing. And when I only used to draw as a hobby, I would only draw when I felt like I was drawing well. Like the days that I was inspired and my hand coordination was collaborating with me. But now that I work with this, I can't afford that luxury, which means that there are some days that I absolutely am not drawing well, I cannot draw anything, but I have to. So that's why there are videos that are much uglier than others. It's because I'm not inspired that day, but I have to draw. And yes, I don't know how to draw perspective. My anatomy is very fluctuating. There are days that I get it, there are days that I absolutely do not. And yeah, I cannot explain why to you, but that's the case. And what are your favorite hobbies? Of course, drawing, painting, all of that, it's my passion, it's what I like to do, but now it's my job, so I don't know if I can call it a hobby. As for hobbies, there are purely only that. I really like music overall. I do play some instruments badly. That's an important distinction to make. I'm not good at music at all, but I like it. I can play the keyboard, the guitar, and the ukulele. Of course, I'm a white girl. What are you expecting? But yeah, I'm not good at any of them. I just like playing them. And also, I really like to sing a lot. Does that mean I'm a good singer? No, not really. I like to think that I am, but I don't know. What matters is I really like doing so. I am very much that obnoxious friend that will just start singing out of nowhere and people will complain. Yeah. Also, I play some games too, but I'm not a gamer. What is your all-time favorite song? That's a difficult one. I'm going to give an answer nobody's expecting. Probably Highway Song from System of a Down. And nobody expecting this because that's not the type of music I use in my videos. But yeah, I'm a huge System of a Down fan. And yeah, Highway Song is probably my favorite. I also like Dreaming, Forest, Roulette, Streamline, and actually the whole Hypnotize album. I love all of them. Do you have a second channel where you do OC stuff? I'd love to see more of your OCs. I do plan on making a second channel. I don't know if it will be for OC stuff, but there will be a second channel. I don't know when, because I need to make this one more consistent before that. I want to post some long form videos here, make it more frequent, and then I'll open the second one where I'll post more stuff that don't really fit here, like maybe gaming content and live streams, and I don't know, tier ranking random stuff. That's something I want to do too. So there will be a second channel. Also, I'm taking suggestions. Tell me names for my second channel. I don't know what to call it. Thank you. How do your usual days go about? Do you spend all of your time on art and this channel? Now that we're such a big community, I think it will be fun to do collabs with other YouTubers more often. So my days normally consist of me waking up, sometimes going to the gym, and then working the whole day, and then going to sleep at 3 a.m. The problem is, I don't work like 15 hours a day. If we're going to consider hours actually working, I work a little bit more than the average 9 to 5 person. The problem is, I don't work the whole day and then rest at night. I will work and take little breaks throughout my whole day, and I won't do anything on those breaks because I needed to be working and I shouldn't be taking a break, which results in me not having any free time during the weeks, which it is 100% my fault. And I need to change that, but that's how it works. My days consist of me working and taking small breaks and not doing anything meaningful during those breaks. And about the collabs, that's something I wanted to talk about because there are a lot of people inviting me to collab and recommending other YouTubers for me to collab. But the thing is, all of the people I have collabed with were like personal friends of mine. And I don't even mean online friends, I mean in real life friends, people that I see monthly, you know. The thing is, I don't have any YouTuber friends or content creator friends that were not like already my friends before all of that. I don't know how to make friends online. You know that stereotype about the people who are very shy in person but then are very outgoing online? I am the exact opposite. I don't have trouble making friends in real life, but on the internet I have no idea how to do that, which results in me not knowing anyone. I have tried reaching out to some creators I like, but that didn't work, so I don't know what else am I supposed to do. And that's that. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. And yeah, the only reason I collabed with some people was because they are my personal friends and I trust them and all of that. I don't know how it would work with people I don't know. Not saying I will never do that. I might do at some time, but not right now. Now you got me curious. Just look in my face. How tall do you think I am? Leave in the comments. I want to know if I look tall, if I look short, or if I look average. Let me know. Favorite Undertale or Deltarune character? I'm going to talk about Deltarune because if you wanted the answer for the Undertale part, you should have asked me 9 years ago, not now. If I were to judge like the best written character, would probably be Susie. I really like Susie. She's amazing. I've really started liking Chris too after the latest chapters. Queen, of course, but right now, if you want me to be completely honest from my heart, if you want to know what I'm currently obsessed with, it's Spamton Antenna. I'm obsessed right now. I don't know if it will pass soon. I don't think it will. I'm thinking about commissioning a plushie maker to make me plushies of them. And yeah, I'm obsessed. Spamton Antenna are in the bottom of my heart. Love them so much. How long have you been practicing art? As I've mentioned earlier, since I was very young, like 6 maybe, but I didn't take it that seriously then, of course. So if you're going to consider like digital art, that's like what I take seriously, 10 years. This year I completed 10 years of digital art, and I want to make a video about that, and we'll see if I can do that until the end of the year. I hope so. But yes, I am very, very, very happy. What's your favorite game to play when you're bored? So, as I mentioned, I'm not a gamer. I've come to that conclusion quite recently because I was under the impression that I was. But I'm not, because I only exclusively like cozy games. I like games where I make stuff, and I make stories, and I build stuff. I love that. So, number one game that I have played the most by far, The Sims. Right now I play both Sims 2 and Sims 4. Love The Sims. I have my problems with it, like every other The Sims fan, but I love it from the bottom of my heart. Best game ever. Also, City Skylines. Love that. I love playing City Skylines on sandbox mode, and I'll just build my city and try to make it best it can be. I don't care about the whole money management stuff. I don't want that. I want to build stuff. Also, Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster also follow that same logic. Love that. And of course, Animal Crossing. I'm quite late to Animal Crossing. I started like 2 years ago, but I'm very invested. Love Animal Crossing. Boris, you have my heart. Do you intend on making videos about world building? Absolutely, yes. I love world building, and that's actually one of the series that I'm the most excited to make long videos about, you know. I'm buying some books about it, not about board building, but about like fashion and cultural foods and all of that, because I want to get good at that and get deep into that so that I can make good videos about that. I want them to be high production, and I'm very excited for that. I love world building from the bottom of my heart, truly. Could we see some of your OCs, and could you tell us their lore? Not yet. As I've said earlier, all of my characters are part of an overarching story, and those are kind of a mess still. So I feel like showing my characters would be kind of spoiling all of that, and not only that, they're not ready. They are a product of the story, so if I present them to you right now, they will be just a prototype of what they will come to be when the story comes to be. What a great way to phrase it, but I hope you understood what I said. But yeah, do you guys want to see my OCs in a simplified form? Is that something you're interested in? I don't know. Let me know. I do sprinkle some OC stuff here and there in my videos, so keep an eye out for that if you want to. Yeah, especially in the fun character ideas, I use my own characters for that. What is your favorite YouTuber? If you have one, and also love your videos. Thank you. I do have one, and it is not what you're expecting. It's not an art or a writing YouTuber, although I do like a lot of them. My favorite YouTuber, top one, Vsauce. You have no idea how important Vsauce was in my formative years. I love Vsauce. Michael, you're not watching this, but if you are for some reason, you were so important in my teenage years. You made me so curious. You made me want to study so many things. And yes, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain how important that was and how much I love Vsauce and his videos. And yes, go watch Vsauce. It is like science stuff, and it has nothing to do with art, but it is amazing. He only posts like once a year nowadays, but it is worth it. It is enough. Anything he throws our way, I'll be thankful for. Vsauce. And for the last question, how many sketchbooks have you had, and could you show us? I actually didn't have that many sketchbooks per se, because I would just draw on anything for most of my life. I would take my regular notebooks for school, line paper, and I will draw there, and most of my drawings were lost in this process. But for sketchbooks, actually, there's a reason I left this question for last. It is because I have a whole video going through my high school sketchbook, one of them, and here's a link for it, and feel free to go watch it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to record more long-form content. I just need to find the time to do that, and I'll try. It's funny because I probably said that in like last year's video, but I want to release a Patreon, and I'm working on something a bit ambitious for that right now, and that's why it's taking a bit long. But yeah, I'm excited, and I hope you guys will like both my new projects and the Patreon. I will provide you guys with a easier way to reference my content and more stuff. I'll see what I'll be able to get out until, like, I don't know, I don't want it to take too long. And yes, thank you for being here, and thank you all for 500,000 subscribers. I don't even know what to tell you guys. If I got to be honest with you, it's only now starting to seem real. This whole last year and a half has felt like a fever dream, very much so, and now it's starting to seem real. I don't know of a prettier way to phrase that. And as much as I'm not good at showing that kind of emotion, I want you guys to know that I'm ridiculously thankful for all of you. As I've mentioned in this video, I don't know what I'll be doing if not this. And you guys have made it possible for me to be doing this. Yeah, thank you for watching all the way through. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I don't know how to end the video. Yeah, I'll end it now then. Bye!